Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, about to do a reading for Pisces, and it's about to get hella real. Okay, it's about to be very, very raw. This raw reading is necessary. Let me just totally didn't realize that I didn't re-add the cards. Okay, hold on. Just got to get the cards ready. Got to get them ready. So, yeah, this is a super raw, super real reading. I want to start with just a little chat. So my little chat goes like this. If you've been abused, if you're being abused, one of the surefire ways to allow that abuse to continue is by not speaking on it, by allowing that manipulator's attempts to silence you. Allowing that gives them another opportunity to abuse you, to continue abusing you. So no more of that, okay? No more of that. If you are being abused, speak up. Speak your truth. Don't allow your fear of being ostracized by the people you love because, what? You're crazy. There's a lot of different forms of abuse. Reactive abuse, narcissistic abuse, covert narcissism. All of these types of things, we cannot continue to allow it. We just can't. We can't continue to allow it. If you find yourself in a situation where you are standing up for yourself, and after all is said and done, after you've stood up for yourself and someone's gotten real crazy with you over it, and you find yourself, did this just happen? What the hell just happened? Did I do this? You are being abused. You are being abused. And it's time for you to find your voice. Find your voice. Don't allow yourself to continue to be silent in the face of abuse. And even people who appear to be strong can be abused. Even people who appear very, very strong and very, very put together, they could be struggling through abuse behind closed doors. So, I think one of the most powerful things you can do as someone who is being abused is to speak your truth. Find your feet, stand on your own legs, and speak your truth. Don't allow yourself to be a silent victim anymore. Just don't allow it. Don't give it permission. And whatever you need to do to defend yourself, to protect yourself, to get yourself in a safe space, you do it. Because I promise you, the person abusing you, they don't feel bad. You're the one that's wrong, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. It's you. You're wrong. So don't listen to them. You don't need them to agree. You don't need to explain anything. You just have to sever contact. You have to. Okay. I'm almost done getting the cards ready. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, very wicked stuff. I'm to a point where I'm not going to be silent anymore. You know, I'm just not. And the most successful types of abusers are the ones that can get you to be quiet while they go around convincing other people how you're the problem. Those are the most successful, most heinous types of abusers. All right, guys, where is this deck? All right, I'm almost ready. This is the final deck I have to shuffle back in. Yes, they will promise to change. Some of them don't even promise to change. Some of them are like, oh, I was stressed out. Oh, I was this. Oh, I was going through that. Failing to realize everyone is going through something. Everyone is going through something. And it doesn't give anyone else the right to go ahead and do horrible things to you, to cause you to feel as though that's all you deserve. Because I promise you, that's not all you deserve. It's not. It's not. You deserve so much more. And typically abusers will prey on, they'll prey on those who are very compassionate, very patient, those who are concerned with other people knowing what's going on. And then I shuffled this already. I'll shuffle this one last time. Pull 3. I have all the cards face down. And then I'm going to get to our final deck. All right. Oops. Yeah. So. All right. Yeah, you know, I've decided at this point I'm no longer going to allow abuse. And no more. No more. I don't care what's going on in their life. I don't care what their needs are. Me, my health, my safety comes first. It comes first. All right. So, see what I'm saying? Card number 23. Defend to the end the worthwhile. I say this a lot. I do. I say this a lot, and I will continue to say it. You are worth the fight. Abso-fucking-lutely. You are worth the fight. You are worth whatever process you have to go through to get to your next level of being, to expand your consciousness. You are worth that fight. And sometimes I suspect that our soul allows us to experience some really unfair bullshit, some really, really unfair, abusive bullshit, to give us the opportunity to recognize it's time for us to choose ourselves. That it's time for us to no longer allow this. And some of the most horrible abuses are those that involve emotional and mental abuse. That sticks with you. All abuse is bad. Physical abuse is also very, very traumatizing. Physical abuse usually has a mental and emotional component to it in regards to the abuse. The mental and emotional abuse are the things that really, really stick with you. So let those go. Whatever process you're in, allow it to grow you in the way you need to grow in order to move forward from it. Card number 32, faith in the process. We have to have faith in our ability to overcome our circumstance. You are not merely your circumstance. You are not merely a product of your circumstance. You are a sacred spark of creation. You deserve so much. And just because the people outside of you don't recognize that does not diminish the fact that you deserve more than they are willing or able to give. You deserve more. So, faith in your process, okay? You will get through this. You will absolutely get through this. Card number 42, the word wants to be written. For those who are experiencing any types of abuse, if you don't have the courage yet to make it known, Start quietly emailing yourself the details of every single cycle. You don't have to tell anyone. Email yourself so you can have a time-stamped evidence for you. It's different when you live through something versus seeing what you lived through in black and white. There's something that's just so real and so raw about seeing your life written down. Because then you begin to not be able to make excuses. Oftentimes, when you've been experiencing abuse for so long, it's just, the days meld together and, oh, it's been some time since they've done this to me. It's been a while. But when you begin to record things and you see the dates where you can't erase it and write a new date, you begin to see exactly how much you have been suffering through. And the point here has nothing to do with the other person. The point here is for you to see clearly, to see with clarity through this entire fucking lake of distortion. You have to see with clarity. Until you can see clearly without this little bit of a help, this little bit of a crutch, you have to begin doing this. It doesn't have to be something romantic. It can be family. It can be friends. It can be coworkers. It can be anybody. It really can be. We need to empower ourselves at this point, Pisces. This is the period where we decide, are we going to begin another year bent over and apologizing that our abuser's foot is sore from kicking us in our face? That's a very graphic, very, very graphic thing to say. But I think we've been kicked enough. People might see us as just some little fish. I don't know if y'all ever went fishing, but even those little fish, they have spikes. If you don't know how to handle that fish, you're going to catch a fin to your hand. You're going to bleed pretty good. Pretty good. I'm wondering if maybe it's time for us to begin using what we were given, which is our voice. Find your voice. Speak your truth. This is not about explaining to anyone else and trying to get people to understand and know your side of the story. 47% at 847. This is about recognizing your truth is your truth. What you live through is what you live through. You don't need anyone else's agreement, permission, or any of that. You speak your truth and see how quickly your abuser stops. Speak your truth. Simple as that. So, card number 31, intention. Lacking personal direction begets confusion, and life is a pawn to someone else's game of chess. So I see this as confirmation. Someone has been playing with you. This is a general reading. It might not apply to everyone. It might not resonate. It might feel a little too intense, but the title says this is going to be raw. This is going to be very, very raw. So, have you allowed yourself to become a pawn? Have you allowed your concern, your ability to love, and your compassion to be used against you, to be weaponized, to be the very tools that are used to manipulate you, abuse you? If you're recognizing that it has, you need to start making some decisions. What those decisions are, it's completely up to you. It is completely up to you. We can sit here and, see the good in everything, see the good in everyone, and be like, well, some people don't realize their behaviors. Does that mean you need to continue being abused? Because if some people don't realize that abuse is abuse, there is something fundamentally wrong. that you're probably not going to heal. Your presence enables that fundamental brokenness. You will continue to be the target. If people don't recognize they're lashing out, verbal, physical, sexual, emotional, mental abuse, all these different types of financial abuse, I don't know that it's my job to help you figure that out. I don't know that it's my job to continue taking this so I can hold a safe space for you to safely abuse me. See, these are the conversations we need to have. These are the conversations we need to have with ourselves. Why am I holding such a safe and sacred space so this person can very safely abuse my sacredness? What the fuck are we doing? We're being Pisceans. We're being unconditional lovers. And there's something that we are taught by society, by other human beings. We are taught that in order to unconditionally love, we have to continue to receive whatever dregs of dignity they're willing to throw at us. I don't think so. My ability to unconditionally love has nothing to do with my willingness to continue to receive abuse at your hands from your mouth. Has nothing to do with that. I can still continue to unconditionally love someone from very, very far away, very, very, very silently. Very silently. Very silently. And I used to think that my coping mechanisms were so childish and like, why am I like this? Because, girl, you smart. You are smart. You observe very closely without saying a word, and you recognize the patterns. You recognize this is who they are. You are not their personal messiah. And so you leave. So what was once seen as a coping mechanism, in the truth of things, might be a survival tactic. We have to be very, very clear in how we see ourselves, how we see our behaviors, our decisions. Is it a coping mechanism or is it a survival tactic? I mean, what is really going on within that sacred space of yours? Have you allowed yourself to actually see? Are you too afraid to take a good hard look at what's going on? Because part of you already knows what's going on. And it's a very scary thing to know you cannot stay. Because where will you go? What will happen? What if I fail? What if you're free and succeeding? If what you've always decided for yourself and always accepted for yourself has always resulted in the continuance of the kicking you in your face and you having to apologize, I mean, you already had the worst of the worst. All you can go is up. I mean, even if I fail, it's better than being here. It's better than treating like this, even if I fail. So, ooh, card number 23, broken dreams. Only you can accept or reject your dreams. So there's a potentiality every single time someone attempts to shatter who you see yourself to be. You are also allowing them to break that egg of rebirth. Notice how she has no bruises. Because again, physical abuse is an extra disgusting layer to that emotional and mental abuse. So what are we going to do? Well, first off, don't waste that egg. Turn it into scrambled eggs. Allow it to be your nutrition, because you're about to rise, baby. You about to rise. So go ahead and take in that nutrition. Don't allow yourself to stop there. Don't give someone else the power to waste your eggs. You're going to take those broken eggs and you're going to cook them. And you're going to eat them. And you're going to feel satisfied and strong enough to walk away, strong enough to defend yourself, strong enough to find your legs, stand up, find your voice, and speak out. Because the only way to really allow the abuse to continue is not to say anything. You don't have to be ashamed on behalf of someone else. You really don't. You don't. Card number 6, trusting tricksters. The trickster's only power is your trust. You're always free to withdraw it. Yeah. It's time to withdraw your trust. It's time to withdraw whatever energy you put into it. Whatever energy you put into it. And it is okay for you to be fucking livid when someone abuses you. It is okay. Absolutely. Oh, but look what she said, look what she's doing. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Let me showcase my reaction to the abuse I'm being forced to endure at the hands of my abuser, who now wants to be a victim. You want to be a victim? Let me fucking speak from the rooftops what you've been doing. You want to play that game? Play it by your fucking self. It's not going to be a he said, she said type thing. Speak your truth and leave it at that and walk forward. Completely leave it behind. No access, no apologies, no reconciliations, no nothing like that. If you're really done with being abused, I'm going to be honest. Abusers never stop abusing you. They just find different ways that you're more tolerant of. This is what I see time and time again. He no longer hits me, but he just calls me a whore every day while I sit at home. That's still abuse. Don't settle for less in-your-face, physically abusive situations. You deserve to live where it's very safe, where you feel safe, where you're not afraid, where you have the space to grow yourself, heal your wounds. Just because the abuse no longer escalates to the degree that it got to the last time, it doesn't mean the abuser is suddenly no longer abusing you. I'm telling you. Really allow yourself to kind of sit and look. Oh, I'm locked out of the account. I have to beg him for money to buy groceries. But he doesn't hit me anymore. Unless he agrees, I can't go anywhere. But he no longer chokes me. These are all still forms of abuse. These are all still forms of abuse. And I just want to make it very clear, if people are wondering if I'm talking about my husband. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Not at all. Not at all. But I am very, very familiar with abuse. So, don't forget. This is a reminder of every situation you've experienced with your abuser where they abused you. Just because they said sorry does not negate the fact that you have been abused. It's okay to forgive. It's okay to move forward. If you choose to stay, that's your decision. That's absolutely only up to you. No one else can tell you to. But never forget the history that you've lived through. Never, ever, ever forget that history that you lived through with that person at their hands. Never forget that. The moon, these are things that are hidden. These are things that are hidden. And some of us, being Pisceans and highly sensitive to other people, some of us would be like, well, maybe this means there's something hidden. They're going through something and they're struggling. And that's why, because I'm a safe space. Baby, why can you be a safe space for everyone else but yourself? Why is that? That you would defend your abuser in that way. That you would defend them and continue to hold sacred space for them to go ahead and continue to be abusive to you. If you're going to hold sacred space, hold it first for yourself and allow those who can respect the sacredness of you and your space. Invite those people to join you. It's time. It's time. And they will throw out these terms like, this is it. Like it's a threat. Like it's a threat. This is it. This is it. Make up your mind. This is it. This is going to happen if you're... Go ahead. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Not a damn fucking thing I don't agree to. That's what's going to happen. And if you try and force me, we going to throw some bows. Motherfucking elbows. That's right. Because no means no. No means no. And when people can't fucking respect the no, they need to catch the bow. Absolutely. Absolutely. I am so done with this belief that defending yourself physically against your abuser makes you just as abusive. I beg to fucking differ. I beg to fucking differ. Part of the reason why it's so difficult to abuse me is because I will reflect that shit right back to you. I will be patient up to a certain point. When you cross that point, game fucking on. I won't stutter, I won't blink. Game fucking on. You get whatever you get and you deserve it because I'm a good fucking person. And it takes so much for me to get to that point. Exactly. Reactive abuse. That's still a form of abuse. And they're going to record that, have other people witness it, but they won't include the part where they spent however long winding you up to that point. That's not okay. That is not okay. So, confidence. Find your confidence again. Okay? Find your confidence. Find yourself. Find your truth. Find what you need. What are you willing to provide other people that you're not willing to provide yourself? To break cycles of abuse, it takes discipline and it takes time. You're not going to suddenly be done with it. You're probably going to be done with it with that person, but unless you take the time to really, really analyze where you've been wounded and to allow those wounds to heal, you're going to seek out a repetition of this. You are more than just this. Take the time. Use some discipline to really focus on your healing. Don't jump from person to person. Not because I think that's bad. No, we need to actually break the cycle. Okay? We need to break it. We need to have that cycling wheel completely stop so it can fall over and be no longer functioning. It has to completely stop. Don't drag it forward into your future. Purity, ice. Sometimes, in order to return to a pure state of peace, you need to ice motherfuckers out. And the people who would try and talk to you and tell you, like, no, don't overreact. Don't be like that. It was just a misunderstanding. It was just this. It was just that. It was, Thank you for trying to create peace, but I know what I know. I've lived through what I lived through, and I'm making a decision for myself. I know what I know. I've lived through what I've lived through. Some people need to be iced out. They just do. Because like I said, an abuser is an abuser is an abuser. They just find different ways, more covert methods to abuse. An abuser is an abuser is an abuser. Abusers are addicted to pain. Pain inflicted on others by them. What do they say about addicts? Once an addict, always an addict. Let's apply that shit to abusers. They are addicted to the pain they can inflict on other people. I'm not going to be your drug no more. Sorry. That I'm not sorry. And that I'm free and you can't do shit to stop me. Attraction, magnetism. You attract to you a lot of things. If you are not done with this, if you can't allow that wheel to completely fall over, you will attract it back to you. I feel like it's important to remind you, you deserve more than that. You deserve more than that. And if you can't find it in yourself to believe how much you deserve, let me remind you, you deserve more than that. The fact that you can hold such a sacred space for an abuser to continue abusing you, that tells me you deserve to have a sacred space where you feel safe. If you can protect an abuser, you need to be protected. Bottom line, you need to be protected. Protected from that internalized abuse, distortion. There's a term for this. Battered wife syndrome, battered person syndrome. Look it up. And it doesn't necessarily always involve physical abuse. It can absolutely be financial abuse, emotional and mental abuse. Battered wife syndrome is a real thing. It is a real thing. And it was observed, I believe her name was Dr. Walker. She began observing a set of symptoms that people who consistently experience domestic abuse were all sharing. In the 70s, she coined the term battered wife syndrome, but it applies to anyone who's been battered emotionally and mentally as well. Also financially. Because usually an abuser does not really let you see the full gravity of their ability to abuse you until they feel you're dependent on them. Mm-hmm. When they think you can't stand on your own anymore. When you've been so displaced within your own self. Now you're locked in. Now they can really do things. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. No. It's that simple. No. Tangibility. Make your dreams real. Stop blinding yourself by using romanticized notions of you're going to heal them. Next time's going to be different. This is the last time. It's just because they love me so much. And stop romanticizing the truth that you see. Make your dreams real. Take that fluffy veil off your face and allow yourself to truly see what you have allowed yourself to participate in. Not saying it's your fault, but there is a very real need to recognize what we are actively participating in. Card number 10, become a loving mirror. This loving mirror has nothing to do with mirroring back to people love who continue to shatter you. This loving mirror is about loving yourself. If we can give love to other people, allow ourselves to give love to ourselves in that mirror. Have a conversation with yourself. Just have a conversation with yourself. If you are a female, would you be okay with your daughter being treated this way? Whatever is being done to you, would you be okay if someone did this to your daughter? If not, don't let them do it to you. Just don't. So, make peace with your past. Burn it away. Just make peace with your past. Your history is your history. Don't allow anyone to weaponize your history against you by causing you to feel some sort of shame or guilt, like, I should be ashamed that you did this to me. I should be ashamed for loving you more than I love myself and allowing you to wound me so that I can better reflect the brokenness within you. Clinging to the past. Some of us definitely stick our head in boxes and cling to the past. That's a way to cope. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It means you've been hurt so badly that now you're confused and you don't know how to cope. You don't want to face reality. You don't want to face the truth. It is scary because if the person that says they love you and by society's standards should be the person who protects you is abusing you, what more can happen in this world? So it's a very real fear. Doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you should be afraid. It doesn't mean you should be ashamed. Sometimes the abuser, when they recognize that, oh shit, my grip on you is fading, they might get playful. They might show you more beautiful aspects of themselves once again, something loving, something kind, something that makes you pause for a moment. Whatever they show, it will always be with the objective of achieving their end goal, which really only ever involves them. No? You guys, I don't care who this is. I don't care who this is. An abuser is an abuser is an abuser. There is a difference between being so traumatized and experiencing reactive abuse to the point where now you feel unsafe with everybody. And so new people you meet, you will be triggered back to that. And being a full-on abuser. There's a difference between the two. Huge difference. Huge difference. The reactive abuser is afraid. They're afraid. The abuser just, I don't know. They fucking get, you know what? I can't even speak on this because I don't know the logic of an abuser because I'm not an abuser. I don't understand the logic. I can't follow the logic. So I can't accurately speak on this. I just speak on what I see, what I've lived through. Yeah. They seem to get some sort of pleasure out of seeing drama, out of seeing pain. That's not for me to give you anymore. No more. Allow yourself to sit back. Allow all that bullshit to kind of just release from you, so that space will open in your field to receive your abundance. You deserve abundance in all its forms: love, support, encouragement, a sense of safety, a sense of being accepted and understood. Not just the money, abundance in all its forms. Friends you don't have to worry about. A love that doesn't hurt intentionally. Allow that abundance in, okay? Allow yourself to really move forward from all the stuff that you've been forced to deal with. What deck? I don't get it. One of these? Mine was so good, or is so good, at being a covert abuser that they have no clinical diagnosis. Mm-hmm. They're that good at abuse. All right. Card number 37, focus on the light. Allow yourself to see clearly. These are cycles that continue over and over and over again until you get off of that wheel and stop participating. Okay. Card number 20, softly, softly, the tender touch. Speak to yourself gently. When you already have someone in your life that destroys you with their words as well as their actions, be the most gentle with yourself. Give yourself space and time to cry, to grieve the parts of you that die every single time this cycle comes back around. Allow yourself to grieve those parts of you that are gone, that you can never get back. Card number 11, diving for light. If you're surrounded by darkness, you have no real option but to dive deep in yourself so you can reach your light again. And sometimes when we look at it in those terms, where when darkness surrounds you, the only feasible solution would be to dive deeper. You know, that tells me, like, this is your soul growing you. And recognizing your soul is growing you through challenge, through adversity, through abuse. Let's get something real straight right now. That is not to explain away and excuse abusive behaviors by abusers. You're still a fucking abuser. Sorry for speaking the truth. Although my soul is allowing me the opportunity to grow through this, you are still a piece of shit abuser. That hasn't changed. Let's not. No. Just because you recognize you can benefit and grow from this, reach higher levels of potentiality, does not negate the fact that your abuser is abusing you. And maybe it's not like socially acceptable, but abusers are pieces of shit. They really are. You know why I say that? They're the pieces of shit that fertilize your soil and help your roots to get stronger, help you to bear more fruit for yourself. Let them serve their purpose and cut them loose. Cut them loose. When you're ready, of course. When you're ready. What I've found, an abuser is an abuser is an abuser. If they are an abuser, And I'm not talking about misunderstandings and I feel hurt and so now I feel like you're being abusive to me. I'm talking about actual abuse. They see nothing wrong with their behaviors. They'll find other ways to abuse you that aren't so obvious to keep you around. No. No. And they'll get ballsy with it. Not only will they begin to abuse you behind closed doors, they'll also begin to abuse you in front of the people you love, to embarrass you so that, oh, I'm not going to come around. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. I just won't come to parties anymore. I won't, I'm so sorry. It's totally my fault. I forced them to come and they were tired from work and it's me. I'm so sorry. No, it's not you. It's not you. The abusers who get so heavily abused, they are the ones who are choosing to do these things. It's them. They're the ones who are doing these things to you. It is not you. It is them. So let's not get things twisted. Let's really not. Just because we recognize that certain things in life are brought to us to grow us does not mean we forget the fact that we have been abused. Doesn't matter who it is. Find your feet. Stand up. Find your voice. Speak out. That's just that. That's just that. It's one of those things where when you're ready, you will. And until you're ready, probably not much will change. And not much will change, not because you don't deserve anything better. It's because you're still in the same cycle. You're still in the same cycle. And so what happens with that? You repeat the same things. It's not about what you deserve, and this is only what you deserve. It's about recognizing it's time to get off that hamster wheel. It's time to get off that hamster wheel. So guys, if you could, guys, if you could give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I'm also doing quite a few different types of readings on TikTok. You can find me over there. If the YouTube readings are too long for you, definitely TikTok. They're only a minute long. And it doesn't matter how powerful you look. It doesn't matter how powerful people assume you to be. You can still be abused by people. When you have a heart that holds space for those who don't know how to properly handle that type of unconditional love, if they're broken in that way, you can absolutely still be abused. And have no shame. This is a part of your history. This is the part that grows you the most. So this is the part you should be least ashamed of. Least ashamed of. You are seen, you are heard, you matter, and you deserve more. Absolutely. So I love you guys. I'm off to go do sessions and drink some coffee. I know this topic was kind of heavy, but today's a lifting day. It's not a cardio day. Today is not a day where we run away from ourselves, run away from our problems. Today's a day we lift heavy, lift hard. It's a lift day today. I love you guys.